How's it, guys? Welcome to the 3-part series tutorial. We'll be using Blender, and what we'll be doing in the first part is we'll be taking AI to create an SVG. This slide is just, I'm being sidetracked, ADHD brain. Anyways, so the series of contents we have is part 1. This video is AI image using Adobe Firefly to create the mesh. And part 2 video is the environment and materials for getting this nice photorealistic look in the surreal world of this coin just flipping around. And part 3, we're going to go through the rendering settings and the compositing for making the final render to look nice. But as well, if you're stuck with load shedding, then you have a solution because we're using EXR files instead than MP4. Alrighty tight. So we have our Adobe Firefly open up, and the link is in the description. It's very easy to find it even if you don't look in the description. So we're going to put in our prompt, which is Mayan alien illustration. We want the illustration because we want a 2D effect, because it's going to be black and white that we're looking for. But first it will be in color, really cool, but that's not what we're looking for. So we're going through the styles. You can copy and paste mine, well, not really paste, but you can copy mine in your prompts. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cycle through whatever you like. What I like to do is to actually download the file, because then I have it on my hard drive and ready for a different project's use. Now we're going to head to Inkscape. It's also in a link in the description to download. So you import your image, and then we're just going to take it and go to Path, Trace Bitmap, and then you'll see that it's displaying. So we're going to invert the image because we want the white to be the black, which is going to turn into the mesh. Now what we're going to do is to go to the multiple scans, and the multiple scans will check everything to smooth everything, and we're going to make the background or the white transparent, because we don't want one flat image to be turned into a mesh. So the transparency will be working in our favor over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to close it, Control-Shift-S, and the Control-Shift is to save your SVG, your .svg. So we can name it anything, alien SVG, for the sake of this tutorial and keeping track of what's what. Next up, what we do is open Blender, and we have the default scene. Take everything and just throw it in the bin, delete it, and we're going to go to preferences and just enable our Bool tools and SVG add-ons, because that is very crucial, because we want to put in an SVG file. So what we do next is press F4 for the shortcut key to get to the import menu, the bottom one, not the top one, not the grease pencil. We want the SVG folder, and after it has loaded in, we're just gonna select it, and also we just want to make the metrics correct to millimeters, because we want to make it on scale. We're working very small, coins are small, because we want, you'll see later why. Now we have a lot of SVG files, but each one's a little bit different, so you can pick and choose which one works correct, looks nice to you, because some will have a little bit more negative space here, others here more white space, black, whatever you want to call it. Now just delete the rest, keep the one, and what we're going to do is we're going to extrude the the mesh, or we're going to create the geometry that will be turned into a mesh to 10 millimeters. And voila, we have our 10 millimeters extrusion, and we can press W and go to geometry to origin, because we want to just ballpark the origin of it in the center, so we can actually rotate it around the x-axis. So you repeat exactly the same with the other SVG. You take this, hide it, press F4, import the other SVG. We're going for the Mayan, import. Now you wait again. Alright, so you have your SVG, and now we repeat exactly the same process as the previous image, because we're doing basically double. And we can actually unhide this one, Shift A, mesh, and we're going to go for cylinder which is way too big. We just want it big enough to cover the whole image because we'll be using a Boolean modifier to cut the hole for the image. Tab, edit mode, 3, choose both sides. Z wireframe so we can see the inside. And you press I and we're going to go inwards about this much. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to just move this slightly and then we can adjust how much we want, and we're going to press X, and we're going to go faces to delete that, solid view. Now we're going to press 2 to go for the edge loop section, and we're going to choose that, fill it, choose the other side, hold F in, then it goes into a circle like that. And what we're going to do is you're going to select this and then first the loop and then the image. You can scale this up a little bit, tad. No, by tad I mean this much. Okay, before we can cut these two, we're going to change this. So press W, convert to mesh. Now we have our mesh. As you can see, the triangle or the loopy-doop changed into the triangle. And now what we're going to do is we can actually make this a little bit smaller because I see it's a little bit, there we go. We want it nice and frame. Z, solid, there we go. Now what we're going to do is select that, select this, control minus, you put on the Boolean tools, the bool tool, there we go, it has been extracted, apply. So when we move anything, it does not give us any issues. There we go, it's selected. Now we can delete the cylinder, hide this, put that on mesh. Now we're going to go to cylinder again, but we're going to change it to 8 corners. 6 is a little bit 6, 8, we're going to go for 6. We'll keep the topology minimal as well, wireframe, and we're going to go to edit mode, select, press 3, and select both sides, IV invert, and we're going all the way in like this. Now we're just going to move where we want it. You can scale it up a little bit, teeny tiny bit. Actually, because it's negative space there, it's all right. So we can actually make it this size, roundabout. There we go. And what we're going to do is go into edit mode, X for delete, Z solid, 2, and we're going to select the edges, F for fill. And we want to make sure we select the right faces. There we go. You have filled it up. And now we're going to select this and that. Actually, before we select it, W, convert to mesh. It has been converted. And now we're going to control minus, put on the bool tool. And we're going to apply all. And we're going to delete that coin. So we have these two meshes, and what we're going to do is put in the mesh cylinder, already 6. The thickness is actually quite nice, but the depth we're going to change it to an actual coin. We're going to make this on scale. So usually coins are at least 2 mils thick, so we can make it 2.3 millimeters. So it's really thin. And the radius of it, usually it's like, we're going to make a large coin, so it's 15 millimeters. And we're going to scale these two down all the way. And we just want to select as view, clip start 1, so we can see everything nicely. And I'm going to scale this up a little bit more. Now we select this, /, so it's only this object that we see, Gonna go number 3 and scaled in. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna scale this. Right, sorry, not scale. We're gonna extrude, but we have this problem. So we're gonna press S, Z, and then it's going up and down. So we can just give it a slight indent like that. There we go. And then we can add a bevel modifier because it's so small, so flipping small. Even 1 millimeter is way too big, so we put 0.3. No, that's even massive as well. 0.03. There we go. We have this, and we're gonna add a little bit of extra segments. W, shades order smooth. There we go. And we're gonna go to weighted normal to fix it all. Keep sharp, face influence, and what we're gonna do is / again. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to take this alien, put it in here, make it a little bit smaller, and what we're going to do is press G, Z to move it. We can go to the side, so you can press 3 or 1 to see if it lines up, so we can go all the way here. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the other one and G, Z all the way down there. So we select these two, and then the last one is the hexagon. Control P, object, keep transform, press R, X to rotate it on the X axis, and then we can see if this is on the right part. So we press 1 and then 9 to flip it to the other side, and we can move this a little bit more, that looks nice and even, nice and in place. Okay, scale it a little bit down to give it like a nice edge type of feeling. I'm gonna go a little bit upwards. There we go. We have our coin. And in the next video you guys will see how to make the materials and the environment, basically reaching the photorealistic aspect of making the renders. See you guys in the next video. Subscribe.